Alright, this is GB Hollows, and today we're looking at the Home Depot drop of Halloween 2024. I was up when it dropped, I didn't even get anything though. I kind of want to see what things are like, how big boxes are and all that before I get anything. But anyways, we're just gonna get right into it. And first up, the Boogeyman is back. I have him, you can check out my unboxing and demo. He's pretty good, for $200 especially. Then the new and improved Giant Skeleton, new lighting and eye features, and his dog. Also new is the Inferno Skeleton. Mixed reviews on that. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not getting it, but I think it's pretty cool. Not as good as the original, though. Then Frankenstein. He's been out for a while already. He has servo animation. Again, pretty cool. The pumpkin skeleton is back. Here are some skeletons. I want some pitted skeletons. I just don't really need 6 of them. Citadel of Souls and Dean is back. Lethal Lily is back. And surprisingly, still in stock because I do want to mention this is a limited online drop. Things will be in stores and restocked later. So, I am looking for. There we go. So this one came out of nowhere. The LED Reaper, there's not really much going for it, but it's a budget prop. It's $100, 6 feet tall. Really not that bad. It just came out of nowhere. No one saw it coming. But here are possibly my 2 favorites, as my mouse has died. There we go. The Hovering Reaper, somehow still in stock. He's gonna be like one of the most popular ones, because it is so cool. We'll take a closer look at it. But yeah, very, very cool. And then Captain Cuts. Silver prop, 7 feet tall, $250. What a great deal, because this is one of the most realistic props I've ever seen in retail. First Mate, not a huge fan. And then Knight Doulahan. Very cool, but he's unavailable and pretty expensive, but understandably so, because that's a big prop. Gravedigger is back. And here is what we thought was Nosferatu. I forgot if I said that right, but this is actually, they just say Victorian vampire. Either way, $200, 7 feet tall, looks pretty cool. I think it's going to have the same mechanism as the Boogeyman. And the new pumpkin stack. Very cool. I already have the old one, so I don't think I'll get this one. The box is really big because, yeah, 8.5 feet. It's a big prop. Plague Doctor. We'll look into him more as well, along with all these animatronics. But $200, 7 foot prop. I don't know how I feel about him. I really like how he looks. As people mention, he has lights like up here. And I don't know how I feel about him, but you can obviously just not have them on. I don't know how I feel about his phrases either, though. There's a cauldron, and then 8.5 foot outdoor rated Carnival Carl. I don't know. I don't really like it, to be honest. I really want to, but I don't. But then also at $200, we have 3 animatronics, mini animatronics that you can stack on top of each other. What a great concept! But it is the Trickster Trio stack, because you can stack them or display them separately. So that's very cool. Next up is a budget Scarecrow snapping Scarecrow. I don't like this one as much as the techie ones they used to have. His neck just kind of snaps up. $100 Marionette Witch. And we thought Bobby Strings was the only one. And here this is at over $200 less. I think Bobby Strings might be a bit taller and I like him a bit more, but man, $200 more than this one. Not sure how they did the pricing with that. And that is it for what is up now. I'm sure there's a few things I missed. There's like a pumpkin archway. Also, Chucky. He might be one of the most popular ones because he has servos that allow him to smile along with Blink. And honestly, not a Chucky fan, but that one looks so good. I do not see him up right now. I don't think he ever dropped. So we're going to be making a tier list. A way too early tier list yet again. Oh yeah, there's also the Jack Skeleton back. Large version and a small one. I'm not getting either. And there's also a new witch. I do like that clothing and color scheme a bit better. But I do like the Reaper still better than even that version. So, we are starting off. I'll just go in order of the list. Hopefully it has all of them. I'm not sure it does. Alright, here he is. Already sold out because he's very cool. $380 plus like $55 for shipping. We'll take a look at the video actually. I'm not sure how my audio is right now. Hopefully it's connected.
Come closer, weary traveler.
Lost, are we? Saddle up with Ireland's own nogginless nightmare. The 8.5-foot Knight Dullahan. In the crow-black night, his red LED eyes smolder like two hot coals. His menacing mouth and exposed chest radiate with rage. Rearing in excitement, this massive mare has glowing red eyes that give a ghoulish glow. Be the unfortunate one who captures their attention, and the two come alive. The horse's head moves up and down as its rider's arm swings wide. Head in hand, the horseman's jaw begins to move as he delivers one of 6 thrilling threats.
I'll give you a running start. I do enjoy the chase and earning my trophies. Time's up. Here I come.
I would not play the whole video because they are long videos, but overall, expensive, but understandably so. It's a very cool prop. Honestly, is this outdoor rated? Hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, it is. So, honestly, that's an A tier prop. And next up, we have the Plague Doctor. I do like how they went with, like, history, timing themes. I think they have, like, the 18 or 1900s. So that's pretty cool. Also, I do not think the gravestones went up yet, but here's the Plague Doctor. Like before, I'm only going to play part of the video.
The pestilence is here. Come in. The doctor will see you now. Towering above even the healthiest specimens, the 7-foot animated LED Plague Doctor casts a shadow on all who cross its path. Its big beacon of blight and foul-boned staff fill a midnight dreary with bright LED light, and his distressed cinder goggles change colors, while the death-proof bird mask and tall, stiff collar illuminate the long black beak and wide-brimmed hat that are its signature. His strong gloves and big boots are blacker than the Great Death, while his brown satchel is a catch-all for powerful potions. Draw its omnipresent eye, and this frightening physician comes to life, promising more than just medicine.
There is evil here. I will rid you of it.
But perhaps the good doctor isn't all that good after all.
This lavender in my mask is barely covering your stench. Bring me the leeches.
The se-
So, yeah, I don't really like the voice, but just like the lights right here on the chest, you can just not have that on because I do really like the appearance of this guy. Maybe I would use him as a static, but free shipping, $200. This is one I'm definitely considering. So I would say it's high B or A. I'll put in A for now. And next up, the Murderous Maple. That did actually not drop yet. I have not seen that out yet. Well, maybe it did and was instantly gone. But it's basically the best tree prop that we've ever seen in retail. It is very good. I forgot if it's 250 or 300. I also forgot if it's like 7 or 8, maybe 8.5. But that's also A teal. It's like really good. Next up, classic skeleton. I'll put an S teal because it's a classic. And we already know what he does, so we'll move on to the Inferno, which is new for this year. Right here. I don't think he says anything, so we don't need to watch the video. He's not as good. He has that forest kind of look to him. Still a lot available, so it seems like he's not even that popular. Or they just dropped a bunch of him. I'm going to say he's B tier. Now, Vader is not up yet, but from what I've seen, he's very good. And then the Stormtrooper, I haven't seen anything at all about, so I'm just going to put that in A tier. Next up, Captain Cuts, like I said before. One of the most realistic animatronics we've ever seen in retail. This guy and Chucky are like the most realistic, and Home Depot has been doing a great job with these. And the price, yeah, that's really good. Like, just look how realistic his movements and detail are.
Ah, here be another scallywag to join me crew. Step in line and hop too, or I'll cut ye down and swab the deck with your entrails.
Yo-ho and a bucket of blood. All aboard the ship of the 7-foot animated Captain Cuts. Brandishing a crooked silver hook, and the long, sharp cutlass for which he's named. This seafaring swashbuckler has quite an edge. Like any
Look at that.
buccaneer worth his weight in gold, he's befriended by a beautiful bird perched on his shoulder. His twisted gray beard is as long as a day on the stormy seas. And his weathered blue overcoat is splattered with the consequences of raids gone right and wrong. Awaken this Davy Jones and watch as his heavy-lidded, rum-soaked eyes move. He blinks lazily, looking from side to side as he tilts about, finding his sea legs and threatening to turn any scurvy dog that dares cross him into shark bait.
If ye ain't a partial to honest pillaging, ye pomp scoundrel, then ye can walk the plank.
Dead men tell no tales, so shape up.
Like, it just looks so good. I don't know if we've ever had, like, usually the like this green color skin, like with Lethal Lily, Frankenstein. And now we get a pirate. Like, I do not need a pirate. And this one, like THD, is very different. I don't know how people are really going to use it. I have no idea how I would use it. But free shipping and at $250, I really am going to try to get this one. I'm just not buying it now because when it arrives, I'm not sure I'll even be home. So I don't really want them arriving then. But yeah, This guy, honestly, to me, S tier. Like, he's so good. Even though, like I said, he's a pirate. What do I do with him? I don't have a pirate theme, but I was thinking of using him as a greeter because he's. I already said it, but yeah, he's really good. And next up, we are on to a guy that's actually not here. He did drop, though, I'm pretty sure. So he must be out of stock. And I think that's the Jack of Spades. Can be sitting or standing. Honestly, S tier. I mean, A tier prop. I haven't seen his animation, actually. But it's really good. It's just something different. People compare it to Dean, and I think he is basically on that level. Is Dean here? He is not, because that was from last year and the year before. Alright, so the dog now. Giant skeleton, really cool. I don't think the dog was really necessary, but it's still cool. He's sold out already, alright. But it's really cool. I'm just not as much of a fan of it. So personally for me it's B tier. But however, I don't think this ever dropped either because I did not see it. But they have a wolf. I forgot if that's like 200 or 250. It was one of the more expensive ones, so that's kind of unfortunate, but it looks really good. It's a wolf. It has scars. It like snarls and has some pretty cool animation. Honestly, I'd say it's an A tier prop. And the Soul Slasher, I think this next one is called. Now that I think about it, I don't think I saw him here. But he's a budget prop, $100, and pretty good. He kind of just points and yeah. We'll do B for budget. And then 0, I did not see that either. I'll put that at B. Next up is the Trickster Trio Stack. Like, for originality alone, I'm not sure how much I like the phrasing, but they look pretty cool, and the fact that you can take them apart, display them separately or together, it's really cool.
Ah, it's the perfect night for some devious pranks.
Indeed! You do well to steer clear of the 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. These terrifying triplets have one thing in mind: sinister stripes, while the middle menace wears a punchy purple and gold, and the anchor antic is adorned in black and red. They goad you closer, swinging their heavy hammer, jaws open and closing with realistic motion.
So, honestly, it's pretty cool. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. $200 for like 3 mini props that can go together as one. It's either very high B or low A. I'm gonna put it very high B. Next up, Chucky, that's like S tier. But the way he just smiles, it's very cool. Now, the Servo Giant Skeleton. I did see him before, but I don't think I just saw him now. And honestly, I'm not sure it's necessary. Plus, for some reason, as some people have mentioned, the neck is really big. And not sure why. Yeah, that's the regular one. Servo one is not here, but it's the same thing with a servo head. Not sure we really needed that. I'm going to put in B tier as well. Yeah, we'll put it right here. And next up, the prop that I want the most. But I still haven't bought it. I'm hoping that he goes back in stock later, even though he is in stock now. It's just not very good timing for when he arrives, but this might be my favorite like giant prop, 12-foot prop of all time. It looks so good, and the hovering Reaper just makes sense. Look at that scythe, the details, the lighting. Servo Head has some pretty cool phrases. Sounds kind of like the Boogeyman, but yeah, this is probably my favorite.
Mortals bear witness.
This Halloween, he will reap what he sows. Hovering high above the ground, the 12-foot animated levitating Reaper surveys his earthly hunting ground, seeking fresh souls and bringing death from above.
You are merely ants in my game of death and destruction.
Enormous hands clutch an even bigger scythe and staff.
So yeah, it's like the same voice as the Boogeyman, but it's so good. And actually, the mount available, unless this hasn't updated, that's like the same it has been for the past hour or so. I thought this would sell out immediately though, because it is so good, obviously for the outdoors. This honestly is my favorite prop, so S tier. Next up, we have the First Mate, and I know it's like more of a budget prop, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. It's not bad. It's just not something that I personally would want.
Set your sails for the afterlife. The 6-foot animated pirate's sidekick is the undisputed first mate on this voyage, and you are but a bilge-sucking bother. This old salt has seen everything from Dead Man's Cove to Davy Jones' locker. And he's ready to tell you all about it, if you keep your mangy mitts off his loot in his left hand, or take a swig from the Seaman's Poseidon poison in his right hand. On deck and on land, he's propped up by one peg leg. Come close and you'll see the patched eye he lost to a kraken. But get too greedy and his LED eye comes alight with dreams of doubloons. His jaw and head gestures towards his coffin.
After it the misfortune of any landlubber who dare cross our path. Me heart may be cold, but nothing warms it like a chest full of gold. So give it here, or I'll pry it from your lifeless hands.
Best to keep your eyes to your...
So, 450, that's quite a bit of animation, to be honest. Now, I'm wondering, is that a servo head? Because it almost looks like it, but I'm not quite sure. It might not be. I don't know if it would really tell me. But yeah, that's a pretty good budget prop right there. So, again, I'm going to put it at the end. No, I'll put it at the beginning. Middle of B tier. And next up, I first saw him and was like, wow, but then I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about him. He's really tall. He's weatherproof. He is Carnival Carl. For some reason, one of the things that I'm not sure I really like is his teeth. It's like the same color as his face, and honestly, it's just not as detailed, I guess. I don't know. There's just something when comparing him to the rest of the props that just seems a bit off.
Step right up. You! Yes, you! What are you waiting for? The circus is in town, and the enormous 8.5-foot animated Carnival Carl invites you to try your luck. With his huge hammer in hand, this startling sideshow appears more trick than treat. But he's just clowning around. Or is he? Trigger his motion sensor, and you'll find out as he swings his hammer up and down, his painted jaw opening to speak.
You look strong. Why don't you come take a shot? If you lose, I'll just put you in place of the bell.
Powerful polka dots line his suit, while oversized hands and shoes fill out this killer clown.
So at first he kind of looks small in pictures to me for some reason, but yeah, he's actually very large. I'm sure he'll be much more impressive in person, but for now, A and B tier are very full, but I might put him all the way down there. And next up, we are on to the Victorian Vampire. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one. This one is one I thought about buying. I'm not really sure where I would put him though. But the detail is very nice. And yeah, I think he looks pretty cool. His voice is pretty cool. Same animation as a Boogeyman, like I said. Overall, not too
What
bad.
evil stirs in coffins, crypts, and the dark place? Enter the lair of the 7-foot animated Victorian vampire. Arisen after more than 100 years in repose, the silver screen's most famous fanged fright has returned. With an appetite. His long, hungry teeth show the yellow of age,
Like, that
and his
detail's pretty
skin
good.
wrinkled and ravaged by countless
Especially
nights,
compared, like,
without
to the
so
last
much as a
prop.
bite or a drop to eat. And his hands are ready to claw for more prower and clots. Under bushy gray brows, his ancient eyes glow a brilliant gold, searching, yearning to taste the essence of youth incarnate.
Life shall fade into pallid shade as I sup upon your blood.
Welcome to your last meal, but you won't.
So overall, I'm not sure how popular he is, but I do like him quite a bit. Basically a Boogeyman reskin, but the details, the voice from what I heard, it's a pretty good prop, especially at $200. So I'm gonna put him at the end of A tier. And next up, Bobby Strings 2.0. I just can't believe that it's $200 less than Spirit. Because it had never been done before, and it looks so cool. And now Home Depot comes out with a $100 version. What a great budget prop.
Words have turned my bones into sticks. That's what I get for testing spells on myself. A sad tale, to be sure. The 6-foot animated Mary stuck hanging from her sturdy wooden support structure. This woeful witch is desperate to cut loose. Trigger her motion sensor and she springs to life, begging and pleading, writhing on her fixed frame as her pallid face and eyes fill with LED light. Say, you look like you know some magic. Want to help a little old lady like me out? Wavy silver strands frame her weathered.
So, kind of a typical witch voice, but a very different, unique witch prop overall. There's also a cheap witch. Yeah, this last one. That's like C or D tier. It's just your typical budget witch. But this one, honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's very cool, so I like it. I'm gonna put it right here. But at $100, what a great, unique budget prop. And next up we have the Snapping Scarecrow. Not a huge fan of this one. I like the other ones they had better.
I'm surprised you allow yourself to come so close.
Even in the stillness, you are never alone.
Are you ready to join me in my field?
He might seem like
So, it's a very simple animation. And honestly, this one, I feel like it could have been $100. This is the only one where I'm like, I don't know if I'd pay any more than that. But this one, it's at the very end of B, almost C for me. Then this one's not up right now. This Jack Skeleton. I believe I heard that they took away the mouth movement. Not a huge fan of it though. The giant one's definitely better, and we are on to the last prop, which is another budget prop, but this is a pretty decent budget prop, I'd say. I think I saw it in stock. Also, the cauldron, honestly, that's like an A tier thing for me. Same with the pumpkin stack, pumpkin archway, skull stack, skull archway. All of those are very cool. I put them all in A tier. I just don't really have room to store any more of them. The Gravedigger, that's like another A tier prop. He's coming back. I put him and the Boogeyman at A tier. Lethal Lily, S tier. So those are some of the old ones and how I would rank them. And here is the generic LED Reaper. Not much going on from him. Here's a sword. But $100, 6 feet tall. Pretty decent budget prop.
The Reaper. I will watch over you while you sleep. Don't you just love the deep, dark dead of night?
Kind of sounds like the Boogeyman again, but for a budget prop, not that bad, but it is pretty basic. I like the other more expensive Reaper they had before, so this is going to go probably right here, honestly. So a lot in B tier. Overall, Home Depot did a great job. Not really any bad props. A generic Witch and Reaper are probably the worst of them. Generic Reaper, Witch, Scarecrow. And besides that, the rest are like really good. They have some good budget props and the best pricing of everyone. By far this year, the best pricing. And Home Depot just really keeps Halloween competitive. They give everyone options. There's all kinds of options at different prices and themes. And with the servo technology, it's really cool. But yeah, the Reaper, Captain Cuts, the Wolf, Plague Doctor, Tree, Vampire. Those are some of my favorites, probably. But overall, this is my ranking. And I think it's a very solid lineup for Home Depot. At first, I was thinking, it's really not that great. I'm not going to get anything. But then they released all of the products, and we saw more information. And now, it's basically as good as last year, and that was very good. So, good job to Home Depot. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.